going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1108 of Flow Wrestling Radio Live. Very special episode today. Joined by JD Rader, John Kozak, Tyler Meisinger here in Austin, Texas. And joining us from State College, Pennsylvania, I'm guessing, Bo Nickal, three-time NCAA champion for Penn State, current UFC middleweight. Bo, how are you this morning?
Doing well. Very grateful to be on episode 1108.
That's right.
Go.
1108. Well, hey, first off, I wanted to get into everything that's new with you and your MMA career, but you were at the Lee versus Ono event. Your thoughts on that? Thoughts on, cornering Masanosuke Ono, just that experience.
It was a great event. It's fun whenever a bunch of wrestling fans get together and, a bunch of good wrestlers get together, put on events like that. I wish there were more. Obviously, anytime you get two high-level competitors like Ono and Spencer, it's going to be a fun match. And I think that the match was pretty tactical and interesting. Those guys obviously not super familiar with each other, and with Ono coming down and Spencer, being at 57 and kind of meeting in the middle there. But overall, I thought it was a great match. I felt like Ono did a really good job of controlling the ties, controlling the hand fight. Spencer didn't really get to his offense, and I think that's more of a testament to how good Ono is than a slight to Spencer. Just guys are so good nowadays at controlling ties and shutting people down that it's tough. So you got to always continue to evolve, improve, and get better if you want to be at that level.
Now you've made no secret that you still feel like you're towards the top of your game in wrestling, just training in the Nittany Lion wrestling room. Did sitting there watching that match, did that give you the itch to potentially compete again in some form or fashion?
I'd be down to wrestle a match for sure. It really hasn't crossed my mind for a while since I transitioned over to MMA. I've just been so focused on fighting and stuff, but I definitely felt the itch. And for me, the competitiveness in me gets, satisfied through MMA, but it's tough when I'm only fighting, 2, maybe 3 times a year. So, I'm used to wrestling 30 plus matches a year. And when I was a kid, I was wrestling, 100, 200 matches a year. So that's something that I love to do. And I would get out there if it made sense for me timing wise. And, as you mentioned, I'm training with the NLWC and Penn State every single day. So I still feel very confident in my wrestling abilities.
Would your UFC contract allow you to do that, to compete in a wrestling match? Or would you have to talk to Uncle Dana and say, hey, come on, cut me a break here? I promise not to get hurt.
I think I can wrestle. You guys do. It's more common for guys to do, jiu-jitsu matches and stuff like that and grappling matches. But, my contract with the UFC is strictly for mixed martial arts. So, if we can get a match set up, I'm down. Let's do it.
Well, hey, a match I was thinking about, and I'm not trying to put anything together. I'm not a matchmaker here, but I really want to see more than ever a Zahid Valencia Bo Nickal rematch. The last time you wrestled this man, you spanked him. You spanked him 5 times live on NBC. You say literally. You've gotten better. This literally happened. I'm not being metaphorical. It was a literal spanking. Would you want to wrestle him again? Now he's down at Oklahoma State. He's been looking really good. You got to watch him wrestle again. Is that a match that you would have any interest in?
Yeah, I think I would have interest in that match. The last one, highly contested, but, I came out on top, so felt good about it. But yeah, that's a good match. I think there are a lot of guys between 86 to 92 kilos that are tough. I think the thing that I like about MMA that's really cool is I'm always competing against new people. And, I think that competing against somebody new would be exciting as well. So, the Zahid match could be fun. But really, at the end of the day, for me, it's just, my main focus is MMA. And if I were to do a match, I would want it to be something that would be exciting for me, exciting for the fans. I've wrestled Zahid a few times. If that's the most exciting match for the fans and for me, then I'm down for it. But I think there's a lot of matches out there that could make sense.
No question. Your style makes it so very, very entertaining no matter who you're facing. All right, I want to talk about your MMA career. Rumors are swirling on Twitter, but is there anything you can confirm about your next fight?
I heard there's a event on May 3rd, so there's a good chance that I'll be on that card, and I'm looking to compete in the next couple months. As I mentioned, competition's my favorite part of what I do, so I would love to get something signed here soon. But that's kind of where I'm looking, and we've got a lot of positive momentum in that direction. So you might see me in Iowa beating somebody up.
Awesome. Well, that would be very exciting.
Nothing new there. That's pretty typical for any time I step foot in Iowa.
Okay. So my next question about your kind of MMA trajectory career, it's a different thing from wrestling, obviously, in that, if you're a wrestler, you have a wrestling coach, you have wrestling partners, wrestling team. MMA, do you have a specific MMA coach? And if so, how does that relationship work for you?
I have a few coaches. I would say that my main coach that I'm working with most consistently is Mike Brown out of American Top Team. So when I transitioned to MMA, it's tough because it's really the Wild West out there. There's not a lot of structure. And, with wrestling, you got youth wrestling, high school, then you go to college, then you go to international and you wrestle for an RTC. And it's like very structured and tiered out. And there's a lot of direction. But MMA, it's like, all right, you just kind of figure it out. So I wanted to bring that structure of wrestling that I was used to into the sport. So I've built a gym out in PA, 15 minutes from Penn State campus. And so I'm training here every day with coaches, Ailton Barboza, and my other coach, Muay Thai coach Ton, and a boxing coach. And so I'm getting MMA training and wrestling training out here. And then for my camps, I go down to Florida, and that's where my head coach, Mike Brown, is. So, for when I'm in PA, I'm working with him a lot remotely, studying film, stuff like that. And then pretty much every day down in Florida, I'll spend 6 or so weeks there this camp. I'll be working with him, and there's over 100 pros probably at the gym down there, and they're all super high level. So a ton of workout partners for me, and their American Top Team is what I would consider like the most structured program that's really built and developed guys in the sport of mixed martial arts. There are a lot of gyms that are well known and a lot of teams, but ATT has, I think, the depth that really no other gym can compete with. And for me, that's like really important, with workout partners and coaching and stuff.
How would you contrast day to day your training versus being in a camp?
It's pretty similar. There's not that much difference. I would say that I probably increased the structure in a camp a little bit, but where when I don't have a fight booked, I'm more like free flowing, being creative, working on stuff. When the camp comes around, the training volume is very similar, but I'm just more specific with it. So I'll ramp it up until I get a few weeks out and then start to taper down. So for me, I'm always training. I'm always trying to get better and improve, but I would say it's a lot more detailed when I get, 8 weeks out or so.
Yeah. The wrestling media, wrestling fans versus the MMA media, MMA fans could not be much more different. How have you adjusted to that? I recall after your Paul Craig fight, you were getting a little bit of heat around that, and you kind of responded to that. How has that adjustment been for you?
It's interesting. I of course will always appreciate my roots in wrestling, and I love the wrestling community so much. To me, that's the best community in sports and the best fans, the most supportive people. So I always love the wrestling, media, fans, community. That's where my heart's at. And the MMA, it's just different. I think one thing that makes it so different is the amount of money that's involved and the sports betting. Like, you got guys that'll say crazy stuff to you or whatever, and it's like, well, dude, sorry you bet first round sub in your parlay and it didn't hit. I don't know what to tell you. I'm in a real fight. So that's where I think a lot of the negativity comes from. But there are good people in MMA as well. Ariel Helwani does a good job, and there are quite a few other guys that do a good job. So, I think that I would like to see MMA fans look at wrestling fans and media and how they do things. And there's just so much more respect for the competitors. And that's something I think they should probably take away from wrestling, is just like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter like what money you got on what fight. Like, these guys are real people. We put our heart and souls into this. And that's how I feel like wrestling fans when it comes down to it, win or lose, whether you're from Pennsylvania or Iowa or Ohio or Oklahoma, like, you respect each other at the end of the day. You'll shake hands and you'll move on with your lives and wish each other well. So I think MMA should take a page out of wrestling's book in that area.
One advantage I think wrestling probably has is almost every wrestling fan probably wrestled and has an understanding, where most MMA fans have probably never been in a real fight, much less, they definitely haven't been in an MMA fight. That's probably a big difference as well.
Yeah, they don't even train. Like, I'll respect somebody's opinion. It's like, if you let's say, you have an opinion on my fight, like, at least go to a freaking jiu-jitsu class or something, like, at least wrestle in high school, then all right, okay, I'll listen to you for a second. And I probably will disagree with you, but most of these guys are like sitting on their couch. And again, they think that because they watched a few YouTube videos and they listened to some guy talk for 15 minutes that they're going to put this parlay together and it's going to make them $100,000, and then they get pissed when they lose. So it's like, brother, like, what are you doing? I don't know. I try to separate myself from that as much as possible. And that's why I just continue to go back to my roots. That's why I like to be at wrestling events. I was just at the NLWC youth wrestling tournament yesterday. I hung out there for 4 hours talking with people. So I love the wrestling community, and I always want to be supportive because they've supported me so much, and there's just a lot of love there.
You need to come to the Texas Youth State Tournament with Jason next year. That's a good scene too.
Yeah, I was at the high school states, and then I came down for a couple days for that. So I got to watch the finals, which was awesome. That was the first state wrestling tournament that I'd been to since I graduated in 2014. So it was cool to go back, but yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get down there and support, North Wrestling Academy and, help these young Texans, maybe have a little motivation and get to that next level.
Absolutely. Wanted to, your style, right? You're a high level and one of the best wrestlers ever. How do you decide, hey, I'm going to utilize my wrestling, or I'm going to rely on my striking and submission grappling? Is that something you go into the fight knowing, hey, I'm probably not going to attack legs in this instance, or how does that process kind of unfold for you?
I think that it's interesting. Some people like to go in super structured game plan, and some people like to go in more creative. For me, I think I lean a little more towards the creative side. So I'm always going to rely on my wrestling and use my wrestling to my advantage. But when I'm out there in a fight, I don't like to box myself into like, this is exactly how the fight has to go in order for me to win. I think that the more creative and the more situations I get in that are just, action, that I'm probably going to come out on top. That's the way it went with my wrestling career. And it's been similar in my fighting career, where if there's action and a guy, and I'm able to just like get into situations where we're having to make decisions quickly, I can kind of make decisions a little better and quicker than most people. So I think that for me, the wrestling stays consistent, but like in my last fight, the guy's best position's off his back. So it doesn't really make sense for me to put the guy down right into his best position when I'm winning the striking. If I'm not winning the striking, then I have the opportunity to take him down, put him on his back. But it'd be like, all right, my opponent's best position's underhook, so I'm going to go straight overhooks the whole match. Like, I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to use my wrestling, but at the same time, I'm there to compete and to win. And so I try to come at it in an intelligent way.
You did do that with Sammy Brooks, though. His best position's underhook, and you still bombed him.
Yeah, well, I think that you force the position, then it usually doesn't go too well for you. He wanted to get up there and tangle, and so I was ready to go. I think, we look back at the Paul Craig fight. If he's going to pull guard and go straight to his back, then yeah, I'm probably going to drop an elbow right on his face. But for me, it's I'm not going to be forceful, right? Like, again, for me, the path to victory in all my fights, it's not like narrow and it's very broad. There's a lot of different options, different ways I can go. We look at my wrestling career. I'm hitting spladles, I'm hitting double overthrows, I'm hitting headlocks. But then, my NCAA finals match against Gabe Dean, I'm hitting a sweep single leg and finishing just with a, limp arm, or against Zahid, like last 30 seconds, I'm going lefty high C. Like that's kind of, I'm able to do the flashy fun stuff, but I also am mastering the fundamentals and able to do the basics when I need to.
No doubt about that. Okay, so it's Big Ten's week, and the big, Cael Sanderson, he's won 8 Big Ten team titles and 11 NCAA titles. So I got to ask you, what is the difference? How would you say, going into a Big Ten tournament, the level of preparation, and then NCAAs, I don't want to say a switch is flipped because you won it 8 times. I mean, it's still really high level, but there's a difference there. What's going into? Is it just as simple as peaking? Is it the game planning, the structure? What would you say is the difference there?
I would say, our focus as a team at Penn State is never to be Big Ten champion. Our focus is to be NCAA champion. That's what's hammered home, and that's what, whenever you see anybody write their goals down, they're writing down NCAA champion. And that's not to say that the Big Ten's not important. It's the toughest conference in wrestling by far. And but with that being said, that's never the focus for us. And so I think, my years, we were 2 for 4 at Big Tens and obviously 4 for 4 at NCAA. So that's something that it wasn't really hammered home. It wasn't focused on, but at the same time, the Big Tens is tough to win. You have to have a stacked team top to bottom, 125 to heavyweight. And there were teams a few years when I was on the squad that I wouldn't say we were top heavy, but we didn't have the depth like what this team has in this year. There was years where we had 5 NCAA champs, but this year we could have 5 in the finals, potentially more, and we could have 10 All-Americans pretty easily. We might have I think, what do we have? 8 guys ranked top 2 at one point. So it's just an unbelievable team. And if you're going to win the Big Tens, you have to have that depth. And now it's like we have the depth and the star power. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable group. Did you feel like, obviously the goals are your goal was always to be an NCAA champs, but did you guys feel different, feel better going into NCAAs? Like, wow, this is the best I felt all year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that part of that's our training, but part of that's also just mentally. When you have people that are on the team that have been there, done that, and you have a coach, multiple coaches that have been there, done that, one that's done it 4 times, that's just gives you so much confidence, and you just know you're going to be ready, that everything that you need to do to prepare has been done. For me, I took a lot of confidence. I wasn't a big go do extra stuff. I was doing a little bit of extra here and there, but I was mostly just I'm going to give 100% in every single thing the coaches say and just listen to them and do every little thing they say, because I think that they know best. And so I think a lot of guys on the team have a similar mentality. And when you do that, you really have no fear and there's no worries oh, did I do enough? You did, because the guys that are telling you what to do have done it so many times. So just a lot of confidence comes from that history.
Anyone that still trains in the room still kind of reveres how well Cael Sanderson still can roll. Do you have any anecdotes for just how exemplary he still remains as a wrestler?
It's crazy. It's crazy to see Coach Cael roll around and still kicks people's butts. I think that that's a good goal for me when I'm his age, is to still be competitive in there and grinding. I think it's just a testament to how much he loves the sport. He just loves it. You can see that anytime he's in practice rolling, you just tell he wants to be there. Most head coaches they're really not willing to do that. And I think it's probably because they don't love the sport as much as he does. And, his dad was a coach, all of his brothers wrestled. Now his son actually just won a PJW state championship yesterday. So, it's just a family thing for him, and it's in his blood. He loves it. And I like seeing people do whatever they're passionate about and whatever they love. And I think that the reason that he's coaching is because he loves the sport, bottom line.
You mentioned how you don't do a whole lot extra. You didn't in college, but I actually heard a story that you used to run to and from practice to get a little extra. And is that true?
Yeah. So this is kind of funny. My after my freshman year, I lost the NCAA's obviously, and was super bummed about it. And so now I decided to like reset my goals, and I was like, all right, what am I going to do? I can't be a 4-time champ. So what's the next hardest thing I can do? And I looked at the weight above me, and I was like, dang, that weight's stacked. Like, I don't know if I could beat those guys. It was Gabe Dean and Brooks and TJ Dudley, and then Miles was moving up, and Nolan Boyd. I think that if you look back at that bracket, there was probably like 5 or 6 NCAA champions in that weight, when it was all said and done. But anyways, I decided I wanted to reset my goals and win 184 the next year. And so Gabe Dean was the guy. He was the man. Won like 50 matches in a row, and so he was the guy that in my mind I needed to get an edge on. And so I'd finish practice, and where our parking lot was, where we'd park our cars, was probably like a half a mile away from Rec Hall. And so what I would do is I'd walk outside, and me and Anthony lived together at Kassar. And so I'd hand him my backpack from school, and I would sprint to the car, and then I would get in the car and pick him back up. And it didn't matter what the weather was, what I was wearing. Most of the time I was in jeans and boots, and I would just sprint like that half a mile all the way over to the car. Sometimes it'd be snowing, sometimes it'd be raining. I was like, this is going to give me that edge, because I know other people aren't willing to do that. And it was maybe a little crazy, but sometimes you got to do that in your mind just to get an edge.
No, that's great. I love it. Anthony Kassar, your roommate, did he plan out the calm down, I'm the champ celebration? Because that was like an iconic celebration, or was that just completely in the moment?
That's just in the moment, off the cuff. That's just the type of guy Tony is. He's a confident guy, Jersey boy, and just has a lot of swag. That was how he competed. He competed out there with 100% confidence and belief in himself. And of course, he's a great athlete. He works super hard, but I think that confidence and belief is really what set him apart. And so when you see those post-match sellies, it's just that personality coming out in the moment.
One completely like raw celebration was after you won the title for the team, and you jump into Cale's arms. I gotta assume that's probably like the greatest memory of your college career. So, but besides that, is there one that really sticks out to you?
There's so many, there's so many good ones, so many fun matches. I'll name a few. I think of like our sophomore year. Actually, no, was it? No, I think that same year, one of my favorite memories was just Jason Nolf coming out after destroying his knee in the Rutgers match and having to forfeit out of Big Tens, winning the Nationals that year. It was pretty incredible to watch. I think of that same year, Anthony beating Colin Moore in the duel after we had, kind of been down, and Jason was hurt and nobody expected us to win. I think Vincenzo, pinning Isaiah Martinez in the finals. Just like there's an unbelievable amount of fun memories that were super special to me. And I think that overall, I just really appreciate all the guys that I was teammates with, all the guys I mentioned, plus we look at like Mark Hall, Zane Rutherford, Matt McCutcheon, Nick Lee. These guys are just, some of my best friends in the world. And all the wins were great, but I wouldn't trade all the wins for the friendship that we were able to make. And I think that's part of what made our team so special is we just loved each other, and we're still all best friends. So it was a cool time. It was a good 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, you were on some great teams with some great guys. Which was more fun for you personally? Kind of running away with like a team title, whooping tail, or having a worthy opponent like that Ohio State team, in that mega duel and NCAA team race? Which was more fun, just dominating or having it be close?
Way more fun to have it close, like way more fun. For me, that was like the most fun year combined with the most stressful year, because it was like they just put this super team together, with Snyder and Bo Micah Jordan, Tomasello, Miles, Colin Moore, and then they had Joey McKenna transfer in. And and I love Joey. He's a great dude, but I just remember this moment where he was doing an interview, and he was saying like why he chose Ohio State over Penn State, because we obviously wanted him there as well. And he basically said that he was like, I thought about what would be cooler, to go to Penn State and kind of, you know, that locks up the team race, me transferring in. It's like, that's a done deal. Or I could go to Ohio State and we could beat them. And I was like, okay, I'll remember that. And then, you know, Kyle Snyder, Kyle's one of my best friends as well. See him every day now, but I remember him tweeting that there was no team on earth he'd rather beat than Penn State, and throwing a little tombstone gif and reference in there and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, Kyle, I'll remember that. And so that just like made it, you know, more fun. It's like the Michael Jordan documentary. It's like, and I took that personally, like that's how it felt the whole year, but it was fun. And I want to see NCAA wrestling with more competitiveness, more rivalries and stuff like that. And I think that, you know, we obviously have Iowa, we have Ohio State, a bunch of young guys, we have Oklahoma State. They've got a lot of funds coming in. And so I think that I'm hoping that these teams can figure out a way to make it competitive, and it just makes it more interesting, not only from a athlete's perspective, but a fan's perspective, of course, as well.
Well, that's on you. You got to tell your boys in State College to chill out.
Yeah.
Y'all are the ones not making it close.
Hey, we're not going to slow down. Everybody else needs to speed up.
Do you wish you would have gone to college in the NIL era, you know, nowadays, instead of 6-7 years ago?
I mean, it would have been nice to get a big fat check. I wouldn't complain about that. But at the same time, I think that, you know, I can't control it, obviously. And I'm grateful for the era that I was able to come up in college wrestling, because, you know, 2014 to 2019, we just look at the storylines, look at how incredible the sport was, how many amazing competitors there were. You know, it was really an unbelievable time in wrestling, and so many magical moments that just, in my mind, it'll be very hard to top them. So, you know, I'm very grateful and appreciative of that. I'm appreciative of my time at Penn State and the connections I was able to make and the lessons I was able to learn. And I think if you insert hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars into that equation, things just go differently. And the problems that might arise with those type of challenges, you know, it's going to change everything. And so, you know, for me, no amount of money would change, or I wouldn't trade any amount of money for the memories I was able to make in college. And, you know, that's something that I feel like for me was just a good experience overall. And I don't really wouldn't change anything if I didn't have to. But if I was in the NIL era, like I said, wouldn't mind the check.
You were on some iconic teams, had some iconic moments. You also had some iconic haircuts. I want a quick power ranking, you know, of the haircuts. The buzz, the normal, you had the blue, the 1 year. Blonde. Mm-hmm.
Blonde, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to top the blue hair. The blue hair is iconic. The buzz. So I have a good story about the buzz. So I always rock the long hair. I don't know what it is, but most guys, when you get to college, they just start growing the hair out. I noticed that a lot of these guys on the teams, like Levi Haynes got the mullet going, and some of these guys got the hair going. And so it's my sophomore year before the Big Ten tournament. I was messing with my hair in practice one day, and Coach Casey was like, "You better quit doing that. Like, you're going to get taken down. Somebody's going to double leg you while you're messing with your hair." And I was like, "Coach, come on. Like, I don't mess with my hair that much." And he was like, "All right, fine. Here's a bet. You do it in the match." Or he's like, he said, "Just don't do it in a match." And I was like, "If I do it in a match, I'll shave my head. Like, no problem. Like, I'm not going to do it in a match." And I was wrestling Big Tens. I was wrestling Emery Parker from Illinois. Yeah. And my headgear got kind of pulled down. And so I pulled my headgear off, and I started running my hand through my hair. And I looked over at Coach Casey, and I was like, "Ah, oh, I did it." In the middle of the match. And so finished the tournament up and got home Monday. And I was like, I'm a man of my word. So I grabbed Zane, and I was like, "Zane, buzz my head." And just went zoop, 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 buzz the hair, and you know, wrestled probably the best NCAA tournament I had ever. Tech fall, 3 pins, and then beat Gabe D in the finals. So the buzz might be the move.
The buzz might be the move, but why the blue hair the one year?
So I just thought I'm not like a big anime guy, but I like Dragon Ball Z, and it was at a time where some of the characters were doing the blue hair, and I was like, that would look pretty crazy. That'd be dope. And then I was like, all right, well, if I do this blue hair, then I'm going to be able to graduate and sell t-shirts with a picture of me with blue hair on it, and people are going to like it. So I was like, that'll be good marketing. And so then boom, went with the blue hair, and yeah, there you go. And then and then did some t-shirts. It was not as good of an execution I would have liked, because I was busy wrestling, so I didn't have it like set up and ready to go. But if I would have had them like the next day after NCAAs, I think I would have sold a lot more. But I think they released a month later, so it was still it was fun though overall.
You were already thinking NIL before NIL was a thing.
Yeah, well, I was I was pretty outspoken about it. I think especially my junior senior year, I would tweet stuff like, the NCAA, this is basically slavery. This is unbelievable. Like, how could I not make a t-shirt with my name on it and sell it when they're doing that in stores, and I can't even like get paid for an opinion? Like, this is crazy. I'm very, entrepreneurial, business minded. And so, that started like, I was like, wait, you're telling me that I'm selling out Bryce Jordan Center, Rec Hall, Carver, and they're giving me, $100 for a meal stipend? Like, this is kind of crazy. Like, let me think about this a little bit. And so I was pretty outspoken about it in college. And there was a couple times where Coach Kale told me to pipe down. But he was like, listen, wrestling is a small sport, this and that. And I'm like, Coach, like, this is crazy. And he was like, maybe for you, but there are a lot of guys that just, want to be on the team and stuff. And I was like, okay, I get that as well. So I don't want to be disrespectful, but at the same time, I was a little bit outspoken about it in my college career.
Yeah. I know you wish you would have had 3-point takedown and 4-point near fall in college, though.
Yeah, that would have made my matches a lot easier. Yeah, no, that's a great move for the sport. I love seeing all the points on the board. One thing that I wish that wasn't like that, one thing that changed, I think, that I don't really like, is I don't see as many pins. People are like, I can just get basically 5-6 takedowns and get a tech fall. So people just rack them up. But I don't know. I think that people maybe shy away from trying to pin guys a little bit more because the tech's so easy. But yeah, I definitely would have had less matches go the distance if that were the case.
So you're not just professional fighter. You're also dipping your toes into the podcasting game. You're also a professional podcaster. Are you ready to admit that it is harder to be a podcaster than an elite fighter or a combat sports
Who would
athlete?
admit that?
Hey, I'm just saying, Bo, NCAA champion, one of the best fighters in the world.
Yeah.
Podcast still has a while before it climbs the ranks. Who's to say which is harder? That's the data.
You got to put the work in, no doubt. The podcasting thing is really fun. I'm excited for me, the podcast, it just was like, I just want to talk to interesting people and people that have ideas that maybe are different from mine or learn. So that was kind of the genesis of the podcast. Like, how can I, just kind of spend some time every week and talk to people that are interesting and smart and try to learn from them. So I think that it's very fun. It's very gratifying for me to get to have conversations with people I respect and like. And that's not just in wrestling or MMA, but in all areas of life. So we've been fortunate to have connections and talk with a lot of people. But yeah, I think that long term, that's kind of the goal for me, is just to continue to have interesting conversations with people. Of course, I would love to have 100,000 subs and millions of views and a bunch of people tuning in. But at the end of the day, it's really the podcast is really for me and my buddies to chat. And I think that that's what we want to have as far as like the product. It's just like people having interesting conversations, and hopefully what we're talking about, it kind of grabs people's attention and also, helps them learn and grow and develop. And that's really what it's about for me. And the views, I think it's not easy, but we'll just, especially when I'm training full time and also have a few other businesses that I'm co-founded and stuff like that. So it's not an easy thing. It's definitely not just like buy some equipment and then all of a sudden you got 1 million views. But again, I do the podcast more for the sake of the content and the sake of the conversation than the views.
No, it's cool. You guys do a good job. Nickels and Dimes, if anybody who's listening to this show will definitely be into it as well, so they should go check it out. You're also super into hunting, and I got to know, what's your favorite hunt or the coolest hunt you've ever done?
I've been pretty fortunate to do a lot of cool hunts. I'm a co-owner of a licensed outfitter in Colorado. We do big game hunts, and we do a bunch of upland bird hunts as well. So we'll do elk, mule deer, bears, working on getting some lion hunts. And so I'm in Colorado pretty much all of September every year. I would say that my most memorable hunt, there's a bull I shot, but my most memorable hunt is probably the first elk I ever killed. It was with my Uncle Mike out in Colorado. And that's actually where I was born. So it feels kind of cool to go back out to, kind of the genesis of my life. And I feel very connected to the land and stuff. But I shot a pretty nice 6x6 bull elk in about 225 yards with a 7 mag and dropped him. And, that was the first big game animal I'd ever killed. So, my Uncle Mike and I walked over and then, gutted him, butchered him up, and I was able to bring that meat home and feed my family and friends for quite a while. It was about 200 pounds of meat. So for me, that's pretty much why I hunt, is to, I love the experience of it, but it's really for, the meat, and it's the healthiest meat you can eat. And when you look at it, what you're consuming is like a high performance athlete. Like you look at a cow sitting in a pasture. I love beef as well, but you see a cow sitting there versus you see a bull elk that can run up a basically vertical incline at like 20 miles an hour. Like that's just a different type of thing. So when you're eating the muscle tissue of that type of animal, it's kind of in my mind, like that's what you're going to turn into.
Nice.
Last question I got before we'll kick it to Tyler from a couple fan questions is just, there's been a lot of talk about you and Khamzat Chimaev. Fighting is one thing, but there's even some people that have been going, he's a better wrestler, or how would this wrestling fight go? Just how fast would you take Khamzat if you two were wrestling, singlets, shoes, circle mat,
freestyle?
No ring. Yeah, freestyle.
What do you think?
I say 30 seconds. You get a takedown and turn him up.
I think as soon as I took him down, it's over. Like,
right.
There's zero chance that he's stopping me from gutting him or lacing him. And yeah, I mean, in my mind, it's not competitive, right? Like we have a guy in myself who's multiple-time national champion, U23 world champ, one of the best guys in the world, versus a guy that won a few freestyle matches in Sweden. So, I don't really think there much more needs to be said about that. Anybody in the wrestling world who actually understands the sport knows. I think the only people that kind of get distracted by the hype are, Chechen, Russian, European guys that are like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable, when really they've never even watched a wrestling match. So I would do a wrestling match with him too. So somebody set it up and I can make it easy work. No problem.
Let's go.
All right. First fan question is from Wrestle Madness. He said, who's on the Penn State Mount Rushmore for the wrestling room dodgeball games?
I thought he was going to ask for wrestling, and no, but we're going with the more important questions. All right. So let me think. I would say that number one, I'd probably put Coach Cody. He's really good. He's a monster. And he's unassuming, right? Like you wouldn't guess, but he wins probably more than anybody besides me. I would say.
So I guess we know another person on the Mount Rushmore.
I would put him. I would put Jordan Conaway. Jordan Conaway is absolute dog. He one of the craziest dodgeball players. Skill for skill, I think Conaway's probably the best. he maybe doesn't always have the best strategy, but that's where Cody, takes it to a new level. But Conaway's skill for skill is probably the best. I'm going to throw Varner on there just for arm strength, just pure arm strength. It was unbelievable. Like, I've seen the guy, literally put holes through people's chests. So, arm strength, throw Varner in there, and then I'll throw myself on there because I'm not even talking crazy. Like, as far as games played, winning percentage, it's unbelievable. I'm winning like 75% of the games I play, probably. So when we used to do partner. Now it's like every man for themselves. We changed the rules, but it used to be partner, and it was me and Kassar. And there were stretches where we would go like a month without losing. It was pretty unbelievable. But now that it's individual, I'm winning probably 70 to 80% of the games I play, I'd say.
So Varner's got the strongest arm, you would say?
Yeah, Varner, Dake can throw pretty quick. I would say that. So let me rephrase. The strongest arm is Greg Kirkfleet. The dude can throw it. It's crazy, but it's like never going to hit anybody. The accuracy is not there. So I'll give Varner's strongest arm because he can throw almost as hard, but it's very accurate. So, Greg, as far as just speed, but it's the craziest thing because you have no idea where the ball's going. So when Greg throws it, you're just like, duck, like get out of the way. Because you don't know if it's coming at your face. You don't know if it's coming 5 feet to your left or right. You have no idea. And he doesn't either. But Varner can throw really hard, but it's also right at you every time too. So
like a Jay Cutler.
JD did an all access video with Ono, and he said he was getting bullied in the dodgeball room. Is that true?
No mercy.
Yeah, let's just say with dodgeball, there's a learning curve. So anytime we got new guys, I haven't seen anybody come in and like do well for the first, it takes most people at least like a month to kind of figure it out. But yeah, the biggest thing is that there's two balls. So when you first start coming in, you'll see one and you'll get focused on that. And it's a good way to get just absolutely decimated from the other side. So you always got to remember two balls.
All right, last question from the fans. Virginia's for FRL said, at what age could Bo beat his dad in an arm wrestling match?
I can't wait for this answer.
Oh, man. I think I'll get there in the next few years, but up to this point.
Hey, your dad's a beast. I was about to say.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. He likes to arm wrestle too. So that was something, I don't know if it was like people his age or what, but that was a thing for them. For me and some other guys, like not as much, but that was more of a prideful, like, let's arm wrestle thing for that generation. So I think if I start working a little more and as he's getting a little older, I might overtake him pretty soon. Maybe by the time I'm 35.
Awesome. Well, Bo, it's been so great having you on. Anything else before we let you go, get back to your day? I'm sure you got a lot planned for the day.
Just heading to wrestling practice. So I just want to say thank you guys for having me on and getting to chat. And I always, really appreciate the wrestling community and the support that I get in my fights. And that's my roots. And I'll always, look back at my time on the mat with a lot of gratitude and appreciation for the moments I was able to have, and also for just all the people I was able to meet and the friendships I was able to make. So, anybody in the wrestling community, just sending love and respect your way. And I appreciate the reciprocity of that. So yeah, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bo. And we'll be looking for you May 3rd. We'll be cheering for you here. No doubt about it. Best of luck to you. Have a good day. Have fun at wrestling practice.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
See you, Bo. Thank you. Bo Nickal, ladies and gentlemen.
We had some people in the chat during you guys were asking him who you'd want to see him wrestle. Some people were throwing AJ Ferrari in the mix.
Ooh. Oh, Allen versus Allen.
Wow.
Two proud Texans. I would love that, but sort of.
Two great Allen graduates.
Allen graduates. No, that'd be tremendous. That's the kind. Now,
that would be fun.
That's a great idea.
Now you're thinking. Now we're cooking.
That is a great freaking idea.
Well, said, he wants hype, and he wishes there was a little more.
Honestly,
AJ has to win NCAAs this year first, though.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
No, absolutely not. He could go round of 12. This match is still absolutely fire.
Exactly.
He's already an NCAA champion. He's basically a two-timer.
Will there be some spankings dealt out?
You know, I pushed in harder in the spanking. I was like, you know, what goes through a man's mind when you're like, probably time to spank Zahid 4 to 5 times. No, awesome to hear from Bo. Would be really cool to see him on the mat. And, yeah, hope to see him fighting again soon. Sounds like May 3rd. They're talking about the
Des Moines, in God's country.
Des Moines, that'd be fun. The guy that's rumored to fight is apparently pretty good, but I don't even know if it's.
Who's the rumor?
I don't know.
They call him RDR. I don't know his name's like.
Oh, yeah.
Ritter or something.
Yeah,
He was
I read that he's a former champ or something.
He tapped. For one, he tapped Kevin Holland, who I know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's pretty good. So potentially good fight coming for Bo Nickal. Either way, we're rooting for him May 3rd if that should all get worked out. So all right, we're already 45 minutes into the show. So where to next, James? I think we should probably mention the passing of Buvaisar Saitiev is the biggest news of the I don't know what. It's huge and very, very sad. If you hadn't heard, you probably have, but Buvaisar Saitiev passed away yesterday, 49 years old, reportedly a heart attack, very sudden. You know, guy looked very healthy. That clip of him wrestling in the club was taken this year when he was 49. Still looked lean, strong, could really move. And, you know, many people say this is the greatest freestyler who ever lived. And, you know, I wouldn't disagree with a single one of them. And definitely very, very sad, very young, 49 years old. So our thoughts obviously go out to the wrestling community, the Russian wrestling community, the Saitiev family, and all that he has touched. He was very much like, you know, for Razambek Jamlov, it's kind of like his dad. Very close relationship. His brother Adam was in Jamlov's corner. So, you know, he definitely still has a tight grasp on he's tightly knitted to the wrestling community there. So very, very sad.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at social media yesterday, particularly like Instagram, it was all just Saitiev, rest in peace. Everybody, not a bad word was said about this guy. He's just a legend and seems like a good person, a good dude as well. Not too many people are going to get that kind of response. It kind of showed the type of person he was. So.
Yeah, and also, like, you know, wrestling there's so many different paths to be good and there's different styles. But pretty much you watch any wrestler, there's very few that actually truly innovated on a level and in a way we hadn't seen. You know, that list is actually really small. You got John, you've got Buvaisar. There's a small number on that list, and he was a true unique innovator, and that's what he was. You know, there's so many great wrestlers in the world and so many guys that stacked up a lot of accolades, but there's very few that kind of totally changed everything and had just brought something completely new. And I think that's what makes him so revered and so special to international wrestling. So definitely sad. Should be mentioned before we move on.
Yep, absolutely. Not an easy transition, but
No.
we will transition from that into this upcoming weekend because big weekend ahead. I don't know if you heard.
Gosh.
Conference weekend.
Massive. And it gets started early. I love
That's
what
right.
the Pac-12's doing.
They're smart.
They are smart. And, you know, well, it could be a backfire because I'm going, you know, maybe not smart, but I'm going. David Bray's going. The Sweet Prince, Connor Petros, all headed to Corvallis, Oregon. Caleb Piles is actually going as well. He won't be working, though. Freeloader. Yeah, we're going to that. That's on Thursday. And then every other conference gets started Friday or Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're going to run through some of the kind of weights or some of the other conference tournaments. We'll get into deeper, probably mostly Big Ten tomorrow. Program note as well because you're traveling.
Oh yeah,
to Oregon. We're gonna
Also,
do a show tomorrow.
Guess who's still going to New Jersey?
Hey!
Oh my gosh! Yeah, we have to stop everything.
Update. Anthony Knox.
Why don't you just
Anthony Knox is wrestling in the state tournament.
Is he really?
Yeah, yes, it seems like he is.
Okay.
He's free to judge freedom.
You know the story.
Wait,
Yeah.
Is he free? Is he complete? I don't think he's completely 100%.
He's not completely
free.
freed, but it seems as though he's going to be wrestling at the state
He
tournament.
is not. Yeah.
I don't know the exact details, but a judge overturned a decision that was made, allowed him to wrestle in the qualifier this past weekend. It's looking like I didn't cancel my flight. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. Okay. I mean, if they pulled the
Either way, even if they pulled, we should still go and get some good content.
it feels like did the Knox family just create all these shenanigans just to make a fire video for you? Because otherwise, he's just gonna kill all these kids, right?
This was there was no conflict going into, like, I think about this thing as a video creator. What's the conflict of this video?
Filmmaker.
There wasn't one. Going into this, really, it was like, okay, this is gonna be a cool video about him winning
Anthony
his fourth,
Smash.
his fourth state title. Now, there's lots to talk about. That's for sure.
So he's going to be a 4-time New Jersey State champion, we think. 4-time Super 32 champion.
Yes.
And a 4-time Who's Number 1 winner.
Yes.
Wait.
Was he 4-time Super 32?
Bo beat him at.
Yeah,
I think
Bo
he won in
32.
8th grade, though. Am I wrong?
You're wrong in that. I'm almost
Okay,
positive.
wow.
Okay.
All right,
Forget it.
fake news.
I think you are right. I think he's.
I know Bo beat
3-time
him
Super 32.
the rematch.
But he is a 4-time Who's Number 1 winner, first in history.
What a beast. Okay. Well, glad that trip is still on, and hope that it feels like once the judge rules, that should be it.
I don't think the judge overturned. I think they
It was just like a stay. Like, yeah, he just.
Oh,
They
okay.
just postponed.
the
They
decision.
just pushed back, so he was allowed to wrestle because technically he was suspended.
Yeah.
And I think they'll probably officially decide, or it will continue to get pushed back even further, and then he could retroactively, technically, maybe get his title taken away. But at that point, who cares?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool stuff. All right, now, sorry, that's the third
Which
time.
I support. I support.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Let kids fight.
He didn't do nothing
We don't know
wrong.
that he fought. We don't know that he fought.
Yeah.
I think we do.
No, we don't.
No, we don't know
We
anything.
don't know that.
Not wrestling.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was said in court.
Anything can
Have
be
you
said.
ever heard of
You know what?
anything like innocent until proven guilty, Jake?
Yeah.
Dang, bro.
They said some horrible things about O.J. Simpson in court too, and he was found not guilty. That's not the message.
I was about to say, I don't think that's the example you want to give.
Let's not do that.
You just compared Anthony Knox to OJ.
We found out. Listen, OJ and FRL are connected because we found out he died on this
did
show
Tom Ryan.
with Tom Ryan.
That is true.
That was So you know what? You never know which direction.
An iconic FRL moment.
my
was
God,
when we were
Tom-
interviewing Tom
He
Ryan.
told the nation about OJ.
Tom was like, how did it happen?
Yeah, I didn't-
Well, the best part was Tom had signed off from like his
Yeah.
interview,
But he was still on the call.
but he was still on the call.
So we had said goodbye to him, but he was still on the call. And I was like, hey, guys, OJ died. And he's like, oh, my God, what happened? He like joined the show again.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right.
Okay, well, it is also conference championship weekend, not just New Jersey State weekend. So, like I said, we'll preview Big Ten hardcore tomorrow, but we're going to run through some of the other conferences in weights today. Should we start with Big 12?
Let's do it.
Big 12. We'll just kind of quick to mention some of these guys. Anything else we want to say about these weights? 125 is getting 7 allocations. Richie Figs, Strickenberger, Spratley, Steve-O. Whoever Iowa State's sending, I assume it's Kyson, but who knows? Tan Jordan, Lorenzo. So that's a pretty good weight.
Yeah, it's a really deep weight. You got Anderson there at the 8. This will be the biggest test for Figueroa of this season. He hasn't navigated a tournament of any note. He hasn't had I don't know if he's done a multi-day event. He forfeited out of the one for Journeyman, no Vegas for Arizona State or for him. So this will be his biggest test. He's going to have someone good on day 1 and 2. We'll see how the brackets fall, but it's all about Jet. It's all about Figs watch, and do we get the Spratley Strickenberger?
That's
rematch?
right. Need it.
They need to rig that. Big 12, you need to rig that.
The seeds did just come out. I think Andrew is getting them up on the site.
Oh, really?
Now. Kyson got seeded. He's the 8 seed. So
Okay.
you got to imagine that's who Iowa State's going to send.
He's going to have to steal a spot, right?
But-
He's missed so much time.
Tyler, I think we should look up and see whether or not Spratley and Strickenberger are the 2-3.
This is going to be a Strickenberger Spratley show. This is pretty much all we're going to talk about.
All right, we got Spratley at the 4 and Strickenberger at the 3.
What?
Dang it.
Did they give Steve-O the 2?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Why don't you like that?
Because I don't think he wrestle any of those guys? And did he? I think he didn't compete for a long time too.
So he was off a lot of time off this year.
He was off the mat for a while, and I don't know if he wrestled any of those guys. I think Tanner Jordan beat him this year.
He was sort of like MIA for like half of this season, second half.
Bring up
too.
his wrestle stat if you can.
Which one?
Steve-O. I mean, Steve-O's good, but I don't know that he's done much this year.
It's probably because he was Big 12 champ, whatever year. If they take previous,
I think that was 2 years ago.
that was 2 years ago though.
I don't think so. I would not support that.
I got it up right here.
Okay.
Big 12s follows a very similar schedule to Big 10s, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, he lost to Cooper Flynn.
He lost to Cooper Flynn.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But who has he wrestled? Like,
yeah.
who has he beat in the Big 12?
Yeah, but with Jet, he's kind of a Space Mountain guy.
I don't know that he's lost to anybody in the Big 12 other than Figs.
And how much has Steve-O wrestled
I'm pretty
in
sure he
February
has.
too?
He lost to Figs.
Saccone.
Yeah.
He lost to Case Mauger.
133.
Oh, it doesn't count.
Yeah. Doesn't count. Beat
Yeah.
Spratley.
How much must it stink to be a guy like Jet who is cutting so much weight, and then you try going up and you're just clearly not the same? Like your only answer is to have to close to starve.
Got to do it.
But it works. He's freaking good. All right. Well, I guess hey, see you in the finals.
Yeah.
Or
Gotta believe in something.
Or they could wrestle for third.
They could.
That's realistic. I mean, that's literally what's seeded to happen. We don't need a top side.
It would be cool.
That is not necessary.
Yeah.
It's fair.
All right.
Yeah, just rig it.
Yeah.
Are these final seeds or are these like pre-seeds that could be changed?
I think they're seeds. Yeah.
I hope we don't get called sometimes we get yelled at for these and we don't even do them.
All right. 133, Big 12, 6 allocations. You've got Frost, Farber, Serrano, Whitcraft, Cleveland Belton. So this is Frost's weight to lose.
Yep.
141 is fun, though.
Yeah.
7 allocations. You've got Andrew Aliras, Cale Happel, Jacob Frost, Tegan Jamison, Moshe Schwartz, Josh Edmond, Hayden Jury, Julian Tagg, Isagiri.
The 9. Yeah, very deep weight. I mean, there's some.
Titus, too, in there, although he's been struggling this year.
He has. What's going on? Kellen March is not bad either. He's literally the 14th seed. That guy's had some like legit wins, I'm pretty sure. Anyway.
I think he didn't wrestle much this year.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't read his name until right this moment.
We got the seeds for it, too. So Tegan is the 4. So Aliras, Jameson, semi. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think Tegan's good, but man, that Iowa match, honestly, you could say it's a major, but that was sort of concerning to me. Mm-hmm. That guy is a true freshman that he wrestled. It was like basically a non-recruit kind of guy, like non-state. He was like 4th in the state last year, and like it was like kind of a late major. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too into that, but I think it's kind of I think he better be ready for Moshe. Now he beat Moshe earlier this year, but that's a tough match as well. I think this is for sure though, Kozak. This is the toughest weekend for Aliras that he's had. He has not faced any level of rigor this season. They've been very strategic with his schedule. He wrestles the easier match at National Duels. Does not wrestle Cale Happel. So all that is gonna come to a head here. So we're gonna learn a ton about where Aliras is. I feel like it's going to be a really good Andrew Aliras.
Hope so.
Yeah.
149, 6 allocations. Robuto, Pinheiro, Jesse Vasquez, McDougald, Wilchel, Carter Young. So decent weight. Because I like this one because it's also not a clear who's going to win this weight.
No, you could see a lot because, I mean, who knows? I mean, who thinks... I would not lock in Robuto Pinheiro as the final. I'll say that. A lot can go wrong there.
Also, sign me up for that rematch.
Jesse Vasquez isn't seeded. I'm curious. I know they were wrestling Pearson Manville.
Oh, my gosh.
Is he going to be their guy for the postseason?
Let me try to find out. I'll ask right now.
You got to imagine.
He's still under 5.
Yeah, but like you'd think if Vasquez was good to go, like he'd be in these
You would think.
seeds.
Now, that doesn't also necessarily mean they're going to burn Manville's red shirt, which I think would be wise because I don't think he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Just quite yet. 157, 7 allocations: Chittum, Fish, Downey, Seabiscuit, Hill, Vinny Zerbin, James Conway. Fun little kind of top 3.
Yeah, even going down to 6 with Zerbin. I mean, he's a guy who we've always said he made it up to number 2 last year in the rankings. So
Yeah,
He does have a win over Levi Haynes.
Yes.
He will always have that.
Yep.
Yeah, Downey Fish, that's going to be a really fun rematch in that semi, should they both make it. Although Downey's got to get by Zerbin. Fish will have to beat Conway. Feels like that will happen. But yeah, good weight.
I mean, big for Cody to get the 1,
Heck, yes.
right? Because
Although-
Downey Fish, semi.
Did he not lose to Hill? He has doesn't he have a random...
He literally just had a crazy loss.
He lost to Brandon Cannon. He lost to James Conway.
Yeah, James
number
Conway,
7.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who it was.
But he beat Downey.
And Charlie Millard.
Chuck Millard. And he lost to Brendan McCrone, or not McCrone.
Yeah, McCrone.
Cannon.
Yeah.
McCrone bumped up.
So he's a Space Mountain guy.
He really is.
165, 7 allocations: Bear Claw, Peyton Hall, Cam Amin, Cam Steed, Drake Rose, Nico Ruiz, Jack Thompson, Riggins, Piccolo.
Cam Steed at the 5.
I think he beat Ruiz.
Yeah.
Think he should be higher?
I'm curious why he's below Drake Rhodes.
Yeah.
I think Rhodes has had a decent year. He's had a good win over somebody top 10-ish ranked.
Steed and Ruiz are 2 fun sleepers.
Yeah.
This weight.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, I'm really curious what Steed Bear Claw would look like. Steed's
Yeah.
really good on his feet.
He really is.
Not a lot of points scored, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 1-2 takedown match.
Peyton's going to have to wrestle Cam Amin again, potentially. They wrestled already twice this year. Okay.
174. This is probably the weight everybody's focused on. This is the match of Big 12s. Keegan O'Toole, Dean Hamity, your 1 and 2 seeds.
Keegan looking for a pre-owned car for his wife now.
I saw that.
Yeah. Man, I wish
Not the definition of locked in, but you know what?
I wish I would have heard about that. I just sold my old minivan. I
Dang
could
it.
have hooked him up. 2012.
What are you guys
Town and
talking
Country.
about? Is he posting about this or something?
Keegan tweeted out, like, looking for a used car, NIL deal for my wife.
Now you have a smart car back in San Clemente. Would
Yeah.
you
Just waiting for him.
Yeah.
maybe you connect Keegan with your parents?
Yeah.
Let him know.
If you want a 2008 smart car with over 100,000 miles on it.
What kind of MPGs are we looking at?
Oh, like 45.
Oh man, you'd be cruising around. Come on. Now I have not trying to top you. I don't want to create a bidding war here. I have a 2006 Dodge Grand Caravan. I don't want
It
to.
may or may not be street legal.
I would say it is street legal.
Because we no longer have to do inspections.
No, I still do. I have to do like some
Emissions,
Yeah, emissions. So it's street legal. I get it. I got it.
power windows.
Now, I didn't. So there was a couple years where the power windows did not work, but now they're back. We don't know why. They just started working again. So I'm kind of pitching. I'm not trying to sell too hard here, Tyler, but I do have that's exactly. Except mine's silver. That's maybe. Yeah, that's it. And it looks exactly like that to this day. Cruise
Does the air conditioning work?
Oh, actually, really well.
Ice cold.
Ice cold.
Okay.
Freezing cold.
Okay.
So Keegan, you got some options.
Okay. Well, this is what I mean. Mine doesn't look this nice, but this is what I was rocking.
Dang.
So
You can park that thing.
Anywhere.
You can parallel park it straight
I
on.
used to park it nose to the curb.
Yeah.
All the time.
Man, I bet you made so many people mad they thought they were pulling into a spot and then they see this little.
I always tried to
roller
park at
skate.
the back of the spot because I was always worried that someone would just like swoop in and accidentally rear end it. So I'd always park at the back to avoid that exact problem.
I would simply pull in and then just park in that spot, parking you in.
Yeah, just park me in. I don't
Could
know.
Adam Kuhn fit in this car?
He has.
He has fit in this car.
He has fit in this car.
Now, what does that do to the MPGs?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Oh wow!
Wow, look at this guy.
I don't know what's going on with I just accidentally, you know what? I accidentally added it to Google Images somehow.
Oh, you did? A picture of you on top of your car.
Yeah.
All right. So
I don't know how that works.
They did give Hamity the 1 over Keegan.
they did not. Or they did? Oh, they did. I'm sorry.
These are our rankings.
Oh, yeah.
But they seeded him. which it doesn't really matter.
I'm surprised they did that, but understand.
Keegan has like no Big 12 matches this year.
Yeah. It gets Hamady opposite of Sachs, who did ride him. So that's kind of something. And he'll get the SEMA DeVos winner.
So how do you see O'Toole Hamady going? You giving Hamady a shot?
Small, I would say 28% chance.
What's changed since their All-Star match?
Keegan's maybe hurt.
What has changed? Probably not much.
Yeah.
I think Matt is a factor here for Keegan. He can really ride. And I think that's, if you're looking for a vulnerability of Dean's, it's underneath. And then that's just how hard Keegan is to score on. I think, is he going to be able to get a takedown on him? I don't know.
And look, I'm saying Keegan might not be healthy. I don't think he was healthy against Levi Haynes, and he still went and did the darn thing against him. So he's a bad dude.
He is bad.
So I don't think he might need to be 100% to win this match and win NCAAs.
He wrestled Levi, and then basically was like, okay, I'm taking time right after that. And I remember he didn't wrestle after that match. So, and I think to your point, I think he was like not 100 going into that, and he still did it. Crazy. He's really good. He's a very slept on year for a good reason. He has not wrestled yet. He has not wrestled much, but we have not talked about Keegan O'Toole much at all this season, other than that Levi match.
184. Parker Keckheisen, obviously the one. And you've got Plott, Berge, Hawks, Bachman, D'Anthony Parker. They get 7 allocations at this weight.
Not bad. I mean, I'm interested in Plott, Berge. Berge and Plott, I don't know if they've wrestled since that duel meet. I think they did, actually. But they had a really close match at the duel last year. And I'm curious to see what Bennett can do there. But, yeah, you favor Plott. Probably looks like a Parker-Plott rematch again. Although, Berge did get 4th last year.
197. Only 4 allocations.
Dang.
And another weight where there's, a handful of potential winners out here because you've got Serber, Novak, Volker, Glazier.
Yeah.
Those are probably all 4 title contenders.
Yeah, I mean, a good opportunity for Volker. It's a tougher path, but he might be my pick.
And then didn't Ian Bush wrestle Serber really tough?
Absolutely.
He almost had the win in the third, right? And then Serber had to get a takedown and ride out or something.
I want another huge something equivalent of when Volker picked up Serber, but then Serber somersaulted out of it, 8 feet up in the air.
That was crazy.
If they can just do that again.
Cool.
Then heavyweight, 4 allocations: Hendrickson, Schultz, Herrera, Runyon, Schnitzel. One more a time.
Yeah, okay. Wyatt. Moving on. Good weights.
All right. Should we go to ACC?
That's where I want to be.
Next, we're not going to run through every weight in the ACC, but we'll highlight a couple of top ones. 133, 3 allocations, but you've got McGonigal, Knox, Oakley, and Orini all at this weight.
It's a really tough weight class. McGonigal's done a great job since coming back. Beating Knox is a signature win, but this does feel like one that could go a lot of different directions. Feels like, I don't know. What do you think, Kozak? What do you like in this weight?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could go a number of ways. Maybe Knox, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Him not having a leg attack, he has one, but it's like,
I'm curious who didn't earn the allocation there out of those 4.
It's got to be Orini, right? He's had a rough year.
Because he started at 141, came down to 33, and hasn't really been the same guy. So, man, I wonder how much he needs to get a top 3 finish. Like, would he earn an at-large bid if he doesn't finish top 3, which is pretty crazy for someone like Kai.
You see this sometimes. No, this is a really deep weight. I'll probably ride with McGonigal, but you can't count Knox out. Classic ACC battle here.
Stanford, Virginia. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really? No.
174. There's 4 allocations, but you've got Norman, Ogunsanya, Singleton, Wolak, and Luca Augustine.
Has anyone watched this Ogunsanya-Norman match?
Bonkers.
crazy.
Yep.
Freaking Norman is like kind of drilling on Ogunsanya to start. I mean, he looked so good. And then he fell off a cliff in the third period. I think he gave up 4 takedowns to lose 15-13. It was like, if you ever wanted, like, it was like the poster child for like why 3-point takedown is cool. He was up 10-1 and lost in the third period. I don't expect that to happen again. I think Norman's a guy, if you're looking for, he's ranked really high, so it's not that crazy, but if you look at the top 3 at 174, it is kind of crazy. If you're looking for someone that could knock off a giant, I think he's like kind of the template. He is so good at getting to legs and finishing. If his weight cut's right, and he's real big at 74, but if his cut is right, I think he's a guy that can create all kinds of problems. I know this is on the heels of him losing. I don't care. I think he's got the template.
All right, CP predicting Lorenzo Norman over Keegan O'Toole at NCAAs.
Yeah, I think
got it. Put that down.
He's gonna run through Dean, Keegan, and Levi in that order. Just write that down.
So write that down.
Write that down.
285 in the ACC, kind of a fun top 3 with Trumbull, Big Jim Mullen, and Pitzer.
Man, Jim, he was right there with Trumbull. He had the takedown in the lead, and then I think Trumbull just had to go get one, and then he did. It was pretty impressive there, beast mode stuff. And the mat is obviously Trumbull's big advantage against these guys. He's so good from the top position. He'd be my pick, but Jim showed in that match he can definitely do it.
Really, for me, the thing I'm going to be locked in at ACCs, I guess, obviously who's qualifying and whatnot, but the team race.
Once again, Virginia Tech, NC State, it's going to be tight. Now you have this new dynamic with Stanford there. They're not going to push, but they throw some curveballs at different weight classes. I can't wait to see. I don't think the seeds have come out, but projecting, what the team fallout's supposed to be based on those seeds.
And you didn't even mention the Co regular season ACC champ.
Tar Heels, baby.
You're right. The Tar Heels.
Tar Heels.
Rob Cole, ACC champion. That's big. They have got a good team as well.
All right, Pac-12s, where you're headed.
Yes.
Thursday, like we mentioned, so kind of a standalone, easy to tune into, and it's one match. The entire tournament
Gotta love it.
is one match, so you can literally watch every match from start to finish.
And I will.
I assume that's what I'll be doing Thursday too.
Because it's just a dang, it's a 4-team bracket. So.
Literally straight to the semis.
Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Nasir versus Romney is a potential final at 133. That's pretty, that's juicy. What's the history?
Now, they do
there?
get 2 allocations at this weight. That's another thing that kind of makes, the only having 4 teams interesting. There are some weights where they only get 1 allocation. So it's like, you're a good guy. Yeah, you slip up. I mean, now, there's always at larges, obviously, but.
That's what happened with Isagera a couple of years ago. They used him, and he just missed qualifying. Okay, so now Romney beat Bailey.
Pinned him.
Mm-hmm. And they have not wrestled since?
No, Nasir
beat him, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I thought.
Yeah, Zeth has kind of fallen off from where he was at after CKLV. He lost to Nasir, and then he lost to someone else in like the ranked in like the 20s maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, Markel Baker. I don't even know if we have him.
Same day.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day Massinger.
And
Lost both those
Valentine's Day match.
And remember, he took a bunch of time off too after CKLV, like didn't wrestle like all of January almost. And in that Nasir match, he was up big and fell off a cliff, if I remember correctly. Or no, this was the other match. He was up big.
And then pinned him.
Yeah, and then fell off a cliff and got super tired. It was Northern Illinois.
Okay.
Oh.
You lost 7-6.
Yeah, that takedown was kind of suspect at the end there.
Yeah.
For Baker. But
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, 33 is interesting. Well, hey, let's quick pivot here while we're talking 33. Okay, what's going on with Ryan Crookham? You got anything for me?
last I heard, it's gonna be almost a game time decision.
Give me a break.
That's the
It
last
is
I
almost
heard.
game
Give
time.
me
It
a
is
break.
almost
It's
game
not
time.
game. It's EIWA's is what? 5 days away? 4 days away?
If they don't know,
I honestly think it's like how is he doing at the end of this week? From what I'm hearing, Ryan wants to wrestle.
Hey, and did y'all see what happened with the allocation in the EIWA at 133? They only got one. So Lehigh sent Matty Lopes, who has been wrestling in place of Crookham, to some small tournament last weekend to get him some matches so he can earn the win. But Phipps from Bucknell lost 2 matches the same weekend. They did have 2. Lopes goes and wins 2 matches, which would have given the EIW 3 allocations at the weight. But Phipps lost 2 matches, which brought his down, so he no longer earning one. Plus, because of those 2 losses, Lopes' best win over Phipps became lower, drops him out too, and then they only get 1.
They only get 1. So really, I mean, I saw somebody ask a question about Lopes being entered into the coaches ranking. Like, that doesn't matter. Especially now that they only have 1, so it doesn't change the situation at all. So Lopes would have to win in order to qualify, and Crookham would have to win in order to qualify. I mean, I don't think it obviously doesn't come down to how many allocations they would get, but it does, make a difference.
Well, it's also a scenario where you could say, hey, Lopes might not get in that large, but Ryan Crookham's going to get in that large.
Would he?
He might. The Braden Davis win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
all right. Here's a question: what percentage does Ryan Crookham have to be at to win NCAAs over Drake Ayala, Lucas Bird?
90.
You think 90?
He's really, yeah. I mean, just as good as, unless, depends what Drake does. If Drake goes after him the whole time, I think he would beat him. But Drake in some of these tighter matches, he's more of a sniper, just like one shot. I do not think you can beat Ryan Crookham taking one shot a match or period or whatever. You're going to have to attack him a lot of times.
Like Vito did at NCAA.
Yeah.
Last year.
You have to go after him repeatedly. You're not going to get one single leg and finish or one high crotch and finish. He's just too crafty. So I think the matchup is, we'll see what Drake brings to Big Tens. But I think the matchups are really good for Crookham. And I don't think he needs to be 100% to win.
Yeah.
So that's why I say 90.
Okay.
And we'll know if he doesn't win NCAAs that he wasn't 90%.
Yep.
And if he does, we'll know he was.
I kind of feel like he's not going to wrestle. That's no inside intel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I kind of think he's not. I feel like it would be more known.
Well, what would you gain by saying on a Monday, yes, he's going to wrestle?
I don't know. I want to make it seem. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what is gained.
Yeah.
I just think. I think what is gained. I think it's just their position is clearly they really want him to wrestle, so they're just aligning with the hope that they want him to wrestle. They don't want him to, and it's right. They should. If he can go, you go. Ryan Crookham has battled injuries his career. And if you get him healthy for NCAAs, you wrestle him because there's nothing assured down the line that he's going to be healthier.
And look who's coming. Buddy Marcus Blaze. Is Luke Little going to be long-term?
Davino next year.
Davino.
It does not get easy.
You are the favorite to win this year. Like Christian Palace has said, he doesn't think you need to be 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think so either. I think he has shown he is probably the best guy at the weight.
Yeah,
So I think he go.
I hope he goes. I think it'd be fun. Although the chaos, it's gonna be chaos no matter what. 33 is actually gonna be kind of fun no matter what. Even if Crookham goes, because we're gonna be wondering the whole time,
Right.
what's he gonna do? And then if he doesn't go, it's like probably Drake. But like, there's so many. You got Nasir Bailey, you got Lucas, you've got Romney. Like, what's Romney gonna
Knox.
do?
Yeah.
Ross.
You got someone like Buzakis, who's just an agent of chaos in this weight class, right? We haven't even said Braden Davis. 33 is like, it's funny because it was the most interesting weight when it had just like Dayton and Soriano, Seth Gross, Sebastian Rivera, Rowan Bravo Young, Austin DeSanto.
Yeah.
And now it's like insane for a different reason. It's got a little 125 in it, you know?
A little bit.
A little bit of last year 125, kind of a bad boy.
That's what everyone's going to be locked in probably for EIWAs is That's the big question. And then obviously Big Ten 174, Iowa. That's the other.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Big,
Well,
Any word
big weight question.
on what's when the decision is going to be known? Is it Wednesday? Like we'll know
Yeah.
when seeds come out.
I would think when seeds come out, I think probably it is now known internally who's going, I believe. But I don't know. I did not want to stop talking about Pac-12s, though. I just wanted to quickly, because we got to get to our guy, eluded.
Oh,
Ethan Styles.
My goodness.
149.
We have been, listen, Ethan is the driver of the Ethan Styles fan club, but we're on the train,
oh,
right?
yeah.
And we've been on the train early since one of the first stops. And
Kozak.
yeah, y'all were there.
we were there.
And now he has done nothing but validate that decision, right? He went down in weight. He conquered
He
it.
had me for a second because he was at 157. I picked him to win the CKLV.
Yes, you did.
And he didn't place, so I was like,
No.
Ethan, I trusted you. You let me down, but I'm back, baby.
He conquered everything he needed to conquer at 157. Now he's on to a new task, 149, and he has been sensational. He's beaten Chance Lamer. He's beaten Jordan Williams. Who else?
Jaden Abbas.
Jaden Abbas.
Lachlan McNeil.
Lachlan McNeil.
Yeah.
This guy won't stop beating elite wrestlers. He's really good. We're not doing a bit. The guy is actually super legit. He's got his own line, Eluded.
Eluded.
We're gonna try to get some merch. I don't know if merch exists, but if it does, I'm gonna bring cash. You see what I can make happen. If I can get a chain, I'll start being a chain guy. I'm open to it.
Christian's gonna show up like Mark Zuckerberg did that one, like when he just all of a sudden turned into
Like a cool dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, he really.
the oversized black T-shirt with the gold chain.
Yeah, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna base my entire identity around Ethan
Well,
Styles.
so when we interviewed him at Oregon State, like whatever, second week in November, he had a chain.
Yeah.
And Tyler noticed it, and he goes, "Hey, like, what's going on with your looted chain?" And then he explained, like, that's what everyone calls him, looted. And
It's gonna be Christian after he's done meeting Ethan Styles.
no chain though. Is that
Oh,
really
there's a chain.
Zuckerberg?
I think it's dark, but
Dark.
Oh, dark chain. Yeah, I might go dark chain. I don't know.
yeah.
Depends on the vibe. Look at that guy. That guy, he looks ridiculous. And I know I have big black
yeah,
glasses.
he
That's
has
insane.
he has a chain that says looted.
Looted.
All right, I interrupted your story.
Yeah, that was kind of it. But he said that was what he wanted to build his brand on was looted gear.
Looted
So
merch. All right, so I need to get that. He's got a tough weight. He's got Lamer and Jordan Williams.
Yep.
He's got to beat those guys again to be the Pac-12 champion.
but I imagine he'll be the one. So I'll just have to be one of them.
Yeah, that's it.
Easy.
Okay, cool.
I mean, eluded's fun, but I'm locked in on 197.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a little appetizer.
I'm told AJ will be the 1 seed.
Really?
So at least one entity knows how to rank AJ Ferrari.
Wow.
Come on, son.
I mean, we
Come
would
on,
have him
son.
as the 1 seed because we have him ranked the highest out of any of these 3 guys.
Yeah. But I'm sort of surprised just because he hadn't really wrestled. Selfishly, kind of wished he was the 2 or the 3 so we could get 2 fast twitch showdowns.
Yeah.
Because now he'll likely have Tyler Hodges, or not likely, he will have Tyler Hodges.
Guaranteed.
Tyler does have to make weight. That is the
True.
That is the current criteria to wrestle AJ Ferrari at Pac-12s. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, just real quick, I found the looted chain. Just wanted to bring that up, show you guys real.
That's a little loud for me. But if I'm going to go and be a chain guy, it's going to be drastic. I'm not going to have a subtle gold chain. It's going to be, it's going to have a little pizzazz
I'm just imagining it.
with the chain. Monday FRL, I just have a chain.
You really will be.
Christian's gonna walk into a room that Ethan Styles is in, walk out, just looking completely different.
That could be what happens
It's
to
gonna be like an '80s movie montage.
I turned 40 in May. That's the time where guys start to really, start to quit.
themselves.
Yeah, find themselves.
Yeah.
This is your midlife crisis.
Yeah. I hope it's not the middle of my life. I want to hit triple digits.
This is just the next evolution of your fashion. Now, your fashion has evolved over
It
the
has.
time.
No doubt.
You've been here. That this is the next step for you.
This is going to be my next.
Yeah, these pants are a little different.
Yeah, I stopped wearing jeans. I'm now a pants person.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm in my pants era.
All right.
Well, jeans are pants.
I'm in my pants.
No, but jeans are just jeans. And now I'm in a pants sort of phase here.
You wear like slacks. Khakis.
You know, I don't like to put labels on it. Just pants.
So back to AJ.
I think you should go back to like buzz cut CP.
Yeah.
Wrestling shirt every day. A6. True gritty CP. This is white collar. You're white collar now. You're wearing your
Look at these
H&M
shoes.
Soft.
plain shirt.
Only eat eggs.
Your nice white tennies.
I do love eggs. It is now a flex to eat eggs, given the
I think
cost.
CP eating eggs is actually one of the grittier things that he does. He just eats eggs every day. That's all he eats.
I love eggs.
It is hilarious to me when we get lunch served here on Tuesdays, and you will eat your eggs 20 minutes before
You just
we get
eat
lunch.
6 eggs before lunch.
But then I'll still eat some lunch.
Yeah.
I don't pass on the lunch. So I just, I narrow that eating window. I love eggs. And it's just part of who I am. I got AJ Ferrari winning this weight, guys. I guarantee you he eats. I wonder if he eats more eggs than me. That's one of the things I'm anxious to find out.
Who do you think matches up
hard-hitting questions.
better against AJ Ferrari? Steven Little or Trey Munoz?
I think Trey Munoz. I do not think Little. No shade. I think you got to be I think Munoz athletically matches up a little better against AJ than Steven Little does. Little's got 7-minute hard grit. I think AJ can handle it. It's going to be a great test because we haven't seen him against anyone of this caliber this entire year.
That's the thing. We don't know.
We don't
Where
know.
he's at.
I think Munoz is probably the tougher matchup, but we'll see.
I think AJ gets it done too.
I do too.
I think he's my pick.
And then what's going to happen? Then
Which is great because then there's even more intrigue going into NCAAs
Look at
because
this.
we're still going to be like, we don't know.
who's going to beat this
I don't
guy?
think anyone else in the Pac-12 is going to their academic center and dropping it like this.
Double birds.
That's all I'm
Did you
saying.
see him do it in front?
Look at these girls. These girls are like, what is this?
He loves it.
Him doing it in front of the AD or the president of the
And then
school
goes and
or
shakes his
whatever.
hand.
Yeah,
Zapped him up.
That in this video?
No. It was
like,
in
this was recent.
his last match, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, we need a Ferrari eluded collab.
Yeah,
I feel like those two would be best friends. Mm-hmm. But they could fight because they're on different teams.
Good fight.
the Sweet Princess boys with Mr. Fast Twitch. So I would say be on the lookout for some Fast Twitch content coming later this week.
I want to be boys with Mr. Fast Twitch. Maybe not boys, but I hope he's not mad at me still. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Let it.
I mean,
not
I'm
be
sure
said-
you're still Christina.
I was never mad at him. He was only mad at me.
I was never mad at him.
Yeah. I just try to tell the truth.
AJ has proved a lot of people wrong this year because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, he's not even gonna wrestle a match."
Yeah.
Oh, he's not gonna make it to conferences, and now he's one weekend away from being undefeated going into the NCAA tournament.
Yes, he is.
So,
Take that, haters.
what do you think
I
they
think
see
it's the
him?
mustache he's got going.
What
Does he still have the mustache?
This is just the video Connor did.
Oh, I like that.
But he did kind of recently have a mustache.
I think he's still doing the mustache. He's got the mustache. Austin Gomez, the mustache gave him some extra power.
Whoa.
This weekend, I'm telling y'all,
Now,
get your facial hair game up.
mustaches were like ironically a thing and cool, like in the last couple of years. Now, are they actually becoming a legitimate like?
They're just normal now.
They're just normal, cool things to do.
Oh, they've been cool.
Yeah.
Don't forget who started this trend 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I remember.
Started mustaches.
Yeah. Well, I remember like 2014, 15. It was like Joe Cologne had the mustache, and like it was like a thing. Joey Laser, you and I guys had mustaches. It was like ironic, and now it's like I don't know. I'm seeing it with.
No,
age.
it's just normal now. It's like a normal.
It's a normal thing.
Is that why you switched it up?
That's why I went handlebar. I had the handlebars to stick out.
Yeah. Well, it's working.
Especially in Austin, everybody and their brother has a mustache now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big barista energy.
Oh, we got a slow push on JD's mustache?
Dang.
Hey, you like that?
Hey, so if AJ
Dang.
if AJ goes undefeated, wins, and Buchanan drops a match,
Oh no.
is AJ the one seed?
That's chaos.
Or is
I don't
whoever
know.
win Big Ten's the one?
I feel like he is going to be. No, I don't think he's going to be a 1 or 2.
AJ?
Even if he's undefeated, I think you look at all. I don't know. Nomad can run his schematics on it or whatever. He's
Beautiful mind, yeah.
got his-
You got to put it in the matrix to calculate it all out.
But just the quality wins. He's got to get hammered by so many wrestlers. But he'll have win percentage conference, but he's not going to have any good head-to-head, but no one will have head-to-head on him.
Could depend on where the coaches rank him.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be high in the coaches rank, yeah.
Dang, never mind. He is going to be pretty high. Buchanan's going to win Big Tens, I believe.
We will talk about all of that tomorrow, but I think that's
Do we have any other
kind
questions?
of the rundown. Yeah, we'll get to Twitter questions.
Okay.
But I think that's kind of the rundown for non-Big Ten
Producers
stuff.
in my ear saying CP just picks the 1 seed for everything.
I don't think so.
Nikki says so.
What's
Well,
Nicky know?
that is because, generally speaking, the 1 seed has proven themselves to be the best based on their season performance.
I didn't even make predictions in many of them.
Look, man, I'm just relaying information. Don't shoot the messenger. But also, you did pick the 1 seed for everything. No, I'm just kidding. All right, questions. First one is this is a question that we already asked Bo Nickal, so forget that one. First one is from Magic. He says, is there any possibility at all we see Ono enroll at Penn State and wrestle for them?
I don't think so. I don't think that's something he's looking to do. He's going back to Japan. He's in school himself. So I don't think so.
This is big on the Penn State message boards.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They've been on this beat for a while. Even just in your video that you made, JD.
Did it happen with Higuchi like 8 years ago?
Yeah. They really thought that was happening. They also, they were pretty sure that Anthony Cassar and Shakur Rashid could go to NCAAs. They actually were like, the BWI was pulling up NCAA rules, and they're like, I think this says they could both go, guys. There was like a non-zero amount of BWI posters that thought they could get 2 in. That was around the time I stopped going there.
So on the video that JD made at the end, where he says, "Oh, I got to go study English," they're like, "Whoa, you have to pass an English exam to get into Penn State." So they're like, "Oh, is he studying for that?" So
Possibly Ono.
I don't know.
Did you ask him?
I didn't ask him if he's planning on rolling at Penn State, but he's literally on his way back home now. He studies.
What? I thought it was like March 10th.
I don't know. He's not in Penn State. He's in New York right now.
Okay.
So, like, that's his next stop, and then he'll go back to Japan. He studies sports science in Japan, and he is not done with school there yet. So
What a jock.
What a jock.
graduate school.
Russell Madness said, when will wrestling Big Tens in particular understand that brackets are their friend? NCAA's is the only tournament that gets it right and releases the brackets a week prior.
Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. I don't know why they don't. They will often say, and I know we ask other entities to release the brackets earlier, like, well, we'll do it after weigh-ins. Like, all right, perfect. Obviously, brackets can change, but you could operate in hypothetical too. Like, all right, if things change, then okay, then change the brackets.
Right.
But we could operate under this is what they will be if everyone makes weight. There's no reason you can't do it. So yeah, it's a bummer.
Now we do get seeds, which is basically brackets. Unfortunately, Big Ten is pushing theirs back a couple days this year.
Yeah.
I think last year they came out tonight or Monday night.
Yeah, Big Ten.
Right, but now they're not coming out until Thursday.
I think Wednesday.
Or Wednesday is what Shane said?
Shane Sparks said Wednesday, which is a bummer for sure.
Slink wants to know, what was the best Big Tens you can remember?
Excuse me. Wow, that was sudden.
I have never been to Big Tens.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know if you noticed my wardrobe change.
That was a crazy one.
That's one you can remember.
That's the best one I can remember. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
much.
he's got the Team 100 one. They did win Big Tens that year. That was obviously a big one, but a lot of talk about just forfeit. That's when just like everyone forfeited out. 2019 in Minneapolis was insane. You had, I think it was 2019. You had Rivera over Spencer Lee, crazy Big Ten match. You had DeSanto, Soriano, kind of separated. They had the skirmish. You had Cassar over Gable. It was totally nuts. And just the Minnesota fans were awesome. It was super loud in there. A bunch of other crazy stuff happened. So that one is super vivid for me. My first Big Tens was 18 at Michigan State. Really fun year that year. That was when NATO beat Spencer Lee actually that year as well.
What was the year Iowa and Ohio State.
I was just gonna say that.
And then
Yep.
you get the Tom Ryan and Tom Brands, the Toms holding the
15?
trophy.
I think 50.
They tied at the tournament?
Literally tied.
Are you
If you
serious?
can
Look at
find
the
that
picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Tom Ryan and
Tom and Kale?
Tom Brands.
Oh,
They're
it's Ohio
holding-
State and Iowa.
Right? They're holding,
They're holding
the
the
trophy
trophy.
together.
It's so funny.
Classic.
Yeah, so I've never been to Big Tens. And to be honest with you, I don't have a strong desire to go. There it is.
Dude, Big Tens is awesome. It's like right away the heat.
Yeah.
It's awesome, but it's conference weekend. And so it's actually, in my opinion, it's not like NCAAs where Kristen just spilled all over himself live on air. Doesn't even know how to drink water.
True.
Drink much.
Find the spill, Nikki. Go ahead. Zoom, freezing enhance. You're not going to find it. All you're going to find are some
Some arms covering up some stains.
arms. Oh,
It's calico cut.
The move, which Kozak and I will be doing, is to watch party. That way you can watch everything. When you're at Big Tens, you're not really watching Big 12s, which is going on basically
True.
at the same time. Other conferences are happening. There's so much going on that weekend. It's not like NCAAs. Where NCAAs, you want to be there
Yeah.
because that's it. You can see everything happening. But you can't get to see everything happening. Christian's water spot just showed.
found my.
You miss a lot that happens.
Yeah, you're right.
So like we got a show Monday after Big Tens. You're gonna have to be staying up late and early catching up on everything that happened.
Well, I'm not going to be here Monday.
You're flying back.
I'm flying back, so I don't know what.
Maybe we don't have a show. I thought we did though.
We got to look into that. That's next Monday's problems. Yeah, you're right. It is fun to be a wrestling fan and just like post up and watch everything. You're right. But Big Tens is kind of awesome.
It's kind of awesome.
All right. Next question is also from Slink. He said, what's your favorite Saitiev memory?
I don't know if I have one.
Well, I wasn't really alive when he was competing much.
All right, relax. You're not that young.
Okay, I was.
You won the Olympics in 2008.
Okay, I was alive, but I wasn't locked in. I was
You weren't locked in 2008?
not really. Not the Olympics, I guess.
I'm joking. You were. What were you, 8?
I was 11.
Dude, he was born in the year 2000.
But when I think Saitiev, I think of him refusing to in the match when he won by tech fall and then just beating the tar out of that dude.
Is this
by
his
like 35
Wikipedia
points.
medals right here?
He said that. So I posted about that match a couple weeks ago, and then I found an interview or something where he said like he was not doing it to show him up. He like actually was like punishing himself for wrestling poorly and felt like he needed it to get ready to wrestle the rest of the tournament.
Wow.
Pretty crazy, but sucks to be that Diata guy who just got stunted on for 6 minutes. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Next question is from Dalton Barrett. He said, does Iowa or any other big team have a chance to dethrone Penn State this year in the conference tournament?
Well, they have a better shot here than NCAAs, but not much of one.
How many champs could Iowa get if everything goes right?
33, 49, 57. I won't say 65. They could have a finalist at 65. I can't say 74.
Not 84.
No.
97.
So they could get
four.
four champs. Maybe they could get 5 in the finals. And even still, how poorly Penn State would have to wrestle. Because like Bo said, it's not just they don't just have the top heavy guys. They're so deep as well. They've got 10 legit point scorers. That's the big obstacle now. Because that's why they would lose in the past, because a more complete team at Big Tens with a couple guys making the finals, that would challenge Penn State. Now it's just like we're seeing in dual meets. They're complete and they have the top heavy guys.
Okay, so what's max number of Big Ten champs for Penn State? Everything goes correctly.
He's still showing the stain on your shirt.
That's so funny. I love it because I have the monitor. Look, no, this is just how I sit. I always just sit like this.
Looks like you're holding your tummy like you got a tummy ache.
You ready for those eggs?
No, I'm making room for those eggs. I'm giving myself a tight waist here.
Penn State could win. Could they win at 25?
Yes.
Yes.
Win at 25, 33.
Yes.
41.
Look, not likely, but possible.
What? Okay, answer this. Would they have a better chance of winning 25 or 33 at Big Ten?
25.
Yeah.
Even though Braden Davis is a Big Ten champion as a true freshman.
Correct. At a weight that had Drake.
33
who
is tough.
The one.
But you look at the field, and okay, the field. But he doesn't have to wrestle all those guys. He will have to wrestle Buzakis.
He'll probably be the 4 seed. So he'll have somebody tough in the quarters. So they have 3 tough matches.
Yeah.
3 really good matches.
Whereas Luke will have to beat Matt Ramos.
Yeah.
That alone.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know for sure that,
Maybe it is 33.
you know? I don't know which one it is. Okay, so they can
So
win.
they're winning both.
25, 33, 41, 49, 57, 65, 74, 84, 97. Yeah.
They can win all
They can
10.
win them all.
And
It's literally going to be a Penn State dual meet.
Whoa. You said heavyweight?
Oh, no. Yeah. What are we thinking?
You can't win.
Yeah.
You can make the finals.
9. They can win 9.
That is, for me, you can laugh. I'm very excited for that match.
I am too. That's what I was going to say. I haven't talked myself into a Kirk victory, but I've talked to myself into it's going to be
You
interesting.
heard about that dodgeball power. You're like, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's a Gable major, personally.
Wow.
I think regular decision. But like a
A
Like a
tasteful decision.
Like
Yes.
a 7-2 decision.
never in the balance decision.
Yeah.
But like maybe Gable doesn't get a takedown for the first like 2.5 minutes. Maybe first period.
I never for a second thought Anthony Cassar would beat Gable.
That's a good point.
Like never. And
That was
never
a different
No,
Gable.
but that's just what I was gonna say. Everyone acts like that Gable wasn't freaking world class on the level. Listen, he got a lot better, but that guy was so unbelievably good.
That
He
Gable wasn't winning the Olympics, so.
stunted on Derek White. I know, but
You're saying he was a badass. He was really good.
Yeah.
This
he
is what
should not
looked
ha-
like.
I don't give
This is the Gable you're talking about.
that guy texts Adam Kuhn.
Yeah, but he also lost to Nick Gwizdowski.
I know. Listen, guys. That's 20. That also
didn't even have tattoos.
That's also 2017. That's 2 years.
Oh, well, it's a
Later.
photo for. Okay, fair enough.
There you go.
This guy.
There he is.
That is still
Still.
little Gable.
The disrespect for that Gable is insane right now. I get it. We
not
know what happened.
disrespecting him.
We know what happened. I'm telling you, he should never lose to Anthony Cassar. That version of Gable should that is a shocker, and people don't give that the. I think Cassar gets credit for it, but I don't think people understand how good Gable was then.
This is the Gable that won the Olympics. Like, the difference is crazy.
I know. I was at all these matches, Tyler. I watched it happen. I am the Gable. I have been sounding the Gable alarm since 20 whatever. I was saying Gable over everyone in 2019 to make the teams. I picked him to beat Gwiz. How good he was, how dominant he was, how physically overwhelming he was to most of his competition was insane.
If Gable had more tattoos in 2019, would he have beat Cassar? That's what we need to start asking.
That's the variable right now.
Is there a direct correlation between number of tattoos and wrestling success?
It's possible. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Next question is: we know Penn State wins NCAA's, Okie State and Iowa, and race for second and third. Any team with a shot to sneak into third? Basically, that's the question.
Nebraska? They've got to do what they haven't been able to do. They got to figure out that NCAA tournament.
How about Northern Iowa? Could they get there?
Parker beats Storaci with bonus to that match. Downey places third, fourth.
Yeah.
Apple places
Apple.
fourth, fifth.
Robuto.
Robuto sneaks in at 8.
No.
Yeah.
UNI has 46 points in the ranking.
Minnesota. Minnesota's a good one.
Yeah.
They got guys at every weight.
Yeah. I think Minnesota has a better shot than UNI.
No, I agree.
Gable, McAnally, Salazar.
Von Bar could play.
Bombar's a dog. Yeah.
You think they could outplace Oklahoma State, though?
It'd be tough.
Listen, Oklahoma State, like they've got Wyatt is going to score 20+ points at NCAAs, but what are the other
Locks.
They were in the same position last year,
Yes.
where they were entering NCAAs after having a great season. They only lost to Iowa in the duel. And, I mean, I'd love to go back and look at what we had them ranked. But they had a lot of guys where if their round of 12 match goes differently, they're like a trophy team last year. So they were in the same spot.
So real quick rundown on, and this is why, you know, the rankings bear it out, but like it's tenuous, their grasp on the 3rd and 4th place. Spratly,
Not a sure thing.
not a sure thing. Tegan, not a sure thing, right? Could not. 49, not a lot. 33, not a lot coming there. 57, I don't know. Nothing sure there. Cam Amin, I don't know. Dean Hamady, you think, yes, but
Last year.
he did not place last year. And he's had some competitive moments. He's been really good this year. He is probably the 3rd most dependable thing for Oklahoma State. 2nd being Dustin Plott at 84. He's going to place. He's going to place relatively high. 97, Serber is ranked high.
This is the highest he's ever been ranked, yeah.
But, you know, we saw, I mean, Buchanan showed the levels there. And we know where Josh Barr sits. We know where Cardi. So he's going to be in tough matches to place. So if you said Oklahoma State gets big production from Wyatt, Plott, and Hamady and not a lot else, I'm not that surprised. Now, then again, a lot of things would have to break kind of against them for that not to happen. So I think they are they're probably the 3rd best team. But there's teams that are closer than probably you would maybe realize too.
Relay Lynch wants to know how many big champs Iowa will have this year.
Big champs. I would say 97, 33.
Maybe 57.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's probably your next best.
I'd set the bar.
chance, though, right?
Would you set the bar at 1.5 or 2.5?
1.5.
Yeah, I think so.
Because 2.5, you're thinking 2, right?
Probably 2.
Right. 33 and
97.
97. Right. It's going to be your 2 number 1 seeds. And it's more likely, I think, that Drake slips up in the semis or the finals rather than Ja'Cory reverses that result against K-Sac plus another tough guy.
Yeah. No doubt.
All right. Joseph Floyd wants to know Bassett versus DeSanto until someone says quit. Who wins?
Well, I don't know.
I think the universe implodes before one of
Yeah.
these guys quit.
Yeah, they had to agree to go to a sauna last time. I don't know. Bo's a little bigger, maybe. DeSanto. I think right now DeSanto's not going to quit.
No.
He's not easy to go with.
Yeah,
You know
that.
this.
You know that. You know that.
Dude, I love that clip.
That's a great clip. Yeah, that's crazy. I would love to see that.
All right. Next question is from Sam. He said, any idea what college wrestling attendance has been like this year in comparison to prior? It seems like every duel I've turned on this year, they were talking about breaking records for attendance.
Great observation and something we should definitely look into, but feels like UNI had crazy attendance this year. They were breaking their own records. I think twice. They had a huge duel for huge attendance for Oklahoma State and Iowa State.
Oklahoma State broke the record, and then I think Iowa State broke that record.
Yes. Oklahoma State, them at Gallagher Iba, I think they broke their attendance record, which is insane because they obviously have an amazing tradition. Iowa and Penn State are obviously dependable. Seems like Virginia Tech and Ohio State also. So we'll look. I think someone tracks this. JB maybe. We'll maybe follow up on this. We'll try to.
He's a big attendance guy, I'm sure.
Chat. He might be in the chat, JB, if you got the answer.
Probably need the final tally, or yeah, I guess we would at this point. Now that Zingo Nationals is concluded.
All right, Chris V wants to know, do you think Terrell Bearclaw has a chance of making the finals and beating Mitchell?
Yes, no. He could make the finals, but Mitchell's. He did give him a close match last year, and there is a case that he is the toughest matchup for Mitchell, but I just don't know if I can go that far.
Okay, it is 11:50, by the way. We have some more
Okay.
questions. We have some more questions if you want to keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
We haven't been told we need to stop.
Yeah. What's Nicky going to do?
Nicky, we have
He's from Evanston.
we have him hostage.
He's not from Evanston.
Dan Altow said confidence ratings for who keeps Iowa's final streak alive: Buchanan, Ayala, Caliendo.
Buchanan.
Yeah.
Or is probably. I was gonna say Caliendo seems like pretty close to a lock to make the finals.
Yeah.
No one's giving him a close match. He just needs to not slip. Yeah.
His closest match was in that Iowa State duel.
Yeah, Uten.
He gone.
R.I.P.
No. Sparks gave him a really tough one at Soldier Salute. You would love to forget the soldiers, Tyler. Not me.
Yeah.
Spencer Humphreys says, was Carr's win over Takatani a sign that Carr is ready to place at a World or Olympic tournament right now, or is it more of a sign that Takatani peaked at the right time and his performance at the Olympics was an outlier?
Yeah, a lot of people want to start making excuses for Takatani because he didn't win this match and say, well, he's not this or that. But I think you got to give a ton of credit to Carr for winning this match.
Takatani took bronze at Worlds the year before.
Yeah, he's
It's not like he was like a one-off medal.
No, this guy's been in the mix. He's really, really good. It's a statement that Carr beat him for sure. Yes, he can. David Carr can medal. Is he a favored to? I don't know that, but he can. You're not a junior world champ and someone with his credentials and. Yeah.
74 kilograms is so deep.
It's really deep.
A lot of Russians.
And if Sidikov comes back, it's already got. I mean, we'll see if. I mean, and this is already assuming that Dake is not in the mix, but
Yeah, Carr just lost to Selkazanov. Selkazanov just lost to Valiev. You got Jamalov. You got Sidikov. I mean, just to reiterate JD's point,
it's a really good way.
it's a really good way.
But you never know how these things are going to get seeded and broken down in the brackets. But he's one of those. I'm not going to use another name that I could right now of someone that medaled with. But you can get the right draw, right? And maybe he could do that. But he's not like a Brooks Zahid where you're like, if he's in, he's going to place because it's just that way. And no one would be like that. Even Kyle Dake. If you said Kyle Dake is going 74 this year, he medals every time, but it was really close to not medal last year. He was right there against Sabalov. And that was a crazy one. And we probably would have thought he would beat Sabalov really sound. It's a really deep weight class. Yeah. That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
What did y'all think of Takatani's warm-up trench coat? Did you see this?
That's crazy. That's going to be the next fad maybe to make its way over here. There was a while where a lot of people were wearing ponchos.
Yeah, that was an Iowa thing. Which is odd. I don't think of that as poncho country. But maybe it is. And then we got the trench coat. This guy just... It's like the big jackets football players wear just over their pads.
Yeah. Here he comes.
On the sideline.
Who was that?
Me.
Do you think he was coming?
I knew he was coming.
What's this mean?
It's the thing he does.
I know.
That's what he does. I don't know.
All right, cool.
This thing.
He just does cool things.
Gang signs.
JDJ said he's throwing sets up. Yeah, is he affiliated?
Maybe.
Oh, jeez.
He might be gang affiliated.
Yeah.
Last question is from Zev Post. He said, PA state championships are this weekend, and obviously Bo Bassett will be competing. My question is, if Bo was allowed to wrestle in multiple weight brackets, how many brackets would he win?
I think he'd win 106.
Wow, he defeats his brother.
Yeah, he's going to have to take out Keegan.
Of note, the number one ranked guy because he's in AA, above him, the weight above him is 152, is his teammate Devin Magro. And then above that, it is Melvin.
So the thing is, does he beat Melvin?
Can he beat Melvin?
I think he probably beats Melvin.
You think Bo beats Melvin?
You don't?
Melvin's big.
He's a lot bigger.
Brother, big? Come on now.
Melvin can sometimes get kind of tired too.
Yeah, that's a good point. In a full match?
Guys, you really... Nah, come on.
What?
I think it's
that crazy.
Oh, yeah. Bo puts it on him. You don't think? That's no inside info. This is just my assessment.
I mean, don't forget, Bo barely beat Daniel Cepeda. He smashes everybody who's not, top 6 in the country, but he has close matches with those top ranked guys.
Yes.
Also,
AKA Melvin Miller, number 1 in the country.
Melvin does take strategic injury breaks sometimes as well.
He won't let him do that. I don't know, man. Maybe he doesn't beat him. I don't know. Just my gut.
After that, I don't know. Maybe he can go up one more way. I don't know who Pennsylvania. I'm not as in tune, but
Yeah, 172. Got Brady Collins. I don't know much about Brady Collins, so maybe.
And if you don't, no one does.
Yeah, that's what we say around the office. If Tyler doesn't know,
Don't even ask.
Prince is going to PIAAs, right?
Is he?
no, he's going with you
Yeah.
to pack. Wait, when is
We got
PIAAs?
Mason and Brock are at Pitt.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's me and Connor and David.
None of the
We're doing Pac-12s and Big Tens. I don't know if I mentioned that. We're doing both. Because it works.
Going crazy.
It's gonna be awesome. Crazy style.
All right. Well, we did a 2-hour show.
Dang.
We did. Nikki said we couldn't do it. And
He's actually criticizing us, saying you're 5 minutes under.
why would you? No. This is the coolest part is that we can say it and he doesn't get his. Yeah, we haven't looked at the chat the entire time.
Oh,
I like it when Tyler puts it up there, but he didn't the whole day.
yeah. Sorry.
Hey, we've also got D2s this weekend.
How the Lopers looking?
All 10, baby. We're winning it. No question. Bringing it home.
Wow.
Qualified all 10. So
Whoa. Christian B. Flow Wrestling has the worst watch parties. Absolutely no energy brought.
Okay.
Bring the energy.
He's commanding.
just shrugs.
Suggestion. Get Wayne Beaver on here.
You do know we do like these watch parties are literally for like
10
12
hours. What is this guy now?
Also, you guys aren't allowed to do play-by-play on the watch parties.
is true.
Something I did not know until I did my first watch party.
We still kind of do. We still kind of do.
It's one of
You
those-
flirt with that line.
Yeah.
You cross it sometimes.
Scroll up a little. One scroll, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Let's see if there's anything in there. This guy says, yep, Gable Major over Greg easily. He's been goofing off now.
Now he's getting serious.
Getting serious. Man, this has been goofing off Gable.
I like Goofy Gable then.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He would win Worlds. All right, cool. Well, we'll get out of here. We thank you guys so much for tuning in. 2 hours plus now,
Sheesh.
we can officially say. Great show. We're going to be back tomorrow. I don't know if anyone knows that. I hope Nikki knows. I think Nikki's supposed to produce it.
I said it.
Now learning this for the first time.
He could get his revenge on us on the next show. But thank you guys. Thank you especially to Bo Nickal.
Oh, someone said I saw Tyler at the Ono event and he's very short. What the heck, man?
He is taller than Christian, though. That is confirmed.
Bro,
I'm the tallest one in this room.
It's true.
you're barely taller than me, and it's questionable if you are.
I can't believe you just admitted that.
I'm not that. I don't know that he's taller than me.
You just said he is.
Tyler's.
You did admit
barely.
it.
Oh my God, he admit it.
All right.
Oh my.
Yeah, back to back. Come on.
back.
You got it.
All right.
Tyler's taller than Christian, but just a little bit shorter than Jordan Burroughs. That's what we know.
What are we doing with shoes?
You got to take your shoes off. Socks on.
How thick are your socks?
Oh, they're super.
Let's see.
It's
Let me get
super thick.
something.
No, we gotta get.
Here, let's see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Oh,
You need one of these books.
you can see that.
We gotta get heel to heel. That changed things, didn't it? I'm not on tippies.
Wait.
How much taller than him do I look?
He looks a lot taller.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Actually, Christian kind of looks taller than he is.
See?
What?
You've got the hair poof. You got the hair poof going.
Pushing down.
Let's get a foot.
This is great radio.
This is good. We're figuring it out. Wow, look how similarly heighted we are. This is great. I'm telling you.
We need a level.
See, y'all are so dedicated to trolling me that you've actually abandoned truth.
Oh, I'm just saying you admitted it right here. 2 minutes ago you did.
Now he's tipping. I'm not tipping.
I'm not tipping.
That's tipping.
Yeah, I know.
See? Number one. I'm taller than Tyler, and maybe just as tall as Jordan Burroughs. I don't know.
Shoes are over here.
See you guys. Bye.